welcome back to All Under Heaven. We have just had our first natural disaster and now we are in the recovery phase. However, we can't really help with the recovery because, well, we don't have any money and you have to have the full amount of money to actually contribute, which is kind of interesting. You also actually apparently need to have other stuff as well to contribute. So, yeah, we can't really do anything here. You would think that if this was a project that multiple people could, or like this is one that you're expecting multiple like vassals within a realm to contribute to, you'd think that you could contribute to part of something, because it doesn't really make sense that, oh, there's money needed for housing reconstruction. Well, unless I have literally all the money that is needed, I can't help. It seems odd. It seems like a very odd system. Maybe I'll change my mind in a bit. Maybe 3,000 treasury isn't really that bad, but, you know, it seems odd. Also, what's odd is that natural disasters are much, much more common in China. The rest of the world, not so common, which means that the rest of the world is where the dev diary was saying that you might get it like maybe once or twice a playthrough. While in China, it's going to be much more frequent, especially in areas around the rivers. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. My problem is that this is yet another mechanic that only works in one area of the map, which isn't really how I want the game to develop. What I want the game to do is I want them to add in systems that then just naturally work throughout the rest of the game. Because I think that the most interesting thing that Crusader Kings does is it provides unexpected experiences, right? Like it provides unexpected storylines due to mechanics interacting with other mechanics in interesting ways. It's like how you hear the stories of people playing Dwarf Fortress and they're like, oh, well, this thing cascaded into this thing, which cascaded into this thing, which then caused all the cats to be drunk, right? And they tell you this great story about how all the systems work together. That kind of stuff I find really interesting. The problem with this is if all the stuff is culturally locked, this means that if you want to play China, and you want to play a China-style playthrough, you play in this region. And you can never have any of those experiences outside of this region, right? Which I think lowers the replayability of it quite a lot. It's the same thing with the struggles, right? The Iberian struggle. Realistically, you have two playthroughs for the Iberian struggle that you can do if you want to do it. You have a playthrough of the Islam side, and you have a playthrough of the Christianity side. And that's kind of it. Once you've done that, you've pretty much seen everything the struggle has to offer, at which point the struggle mechanics become a detriment to your playthrough because they restrict what you can do within that area of the map, which is in fact why in this game I have them turned off. I have this one turned off and I have the other struggle that's over here turned off because I feel like they're actively bad mechanics. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I still need to play more of this and see if it falls into the same boat. But that's where my natural biases are. I'm like, I don't like the restricted mechanics because it makes everything very... It reduces your replayability because it means that if you're playing within the region, it's all going to be very samey. And if you're playing outside the region, it's not affected by it whatsoever. I don't know. It's odd. Anyway. Let's continue. I can't contribute to this whatsoever. So, I guess we're just going to unpause. Although I did find something weird, right? And I think this is a bug. But we're going to use it anyway. If I go to recruit for court position, we can search for a chief eunuch, right? However, we cannot have a chief eunuch. Your highest held title is greater or equal to duchy rank is a requirement in order to get a chief eunuch. So we can search for one. It will generate us a courtier who can be a chief eunuch, but we won't actually have a chief eunuch, which is a bit weird. Oh, also I just want to tick this while I'm here because I want to look at that in a second. Anyway, we're going to do this because we actually need council members because so many people died and we now have this very subpar council, but yeah, it's a little odd. Anyway, let's do it. I think that what this should do, by the way, in terms of how I would see it working without the bug, is I would see it only having the ability to search for positions that you don't already have somebody in and can employ somebody in. I think that would be the most sensible way of having this screen work, but anyway. Because effectively what you're doing is you're putting out a job advert, right? You're saying, hey, I need somebody to come and be my chief eunuch. It's a little odd to be like, yeah, you can come to my court to be my chief eunuch, but we don't actually have a position of chief eunuch, so we're not actually going to pay you anything or have you do the job, right? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, let's do this and I can show you what I mean. Right. Yes, develop capital. I want to do this. I dream that Poyang will one day become the envy of every ruler under the sky and must endeavor to be the champion who turns it into the jewel of the earth. All that is needed is for me to put in some more work. Who needs sleep anyway? So, why am I going for diligent planning in our capital? Well, 2 reasons. One is we just took a huge amount of negative to our development. So having our development go up slightly I think would actually be very beneficial, because we actually have a lot of positive multipliers, although we have a minus 500% now that I look at it. Actually, maybe this is a bad idea, because if we have minus 500%, that's just going to stay at 0. Okay, well, there goes one of my reasons for clicking it, so I guess I'm not going to do it anymore. But the other reason is it gives me a 60 merit. I guess once we get rid of that minus 500%, then we should click it. Anyway, right. High tier governance issue treating the unfortunate. Did we not already do this? We did. Okay, weird. Maybe it'll disappear at the end of the month. Okay, cool. A worthy chief eunuch. Okay, we have 2 chief eunuchs. Tian Xiaozhong is fiercely determined to prove himself, but Fei Yuanzhong seems to be more skilled. So, have a look at this. So it says we will appoint him as our chief eunuch. We will not appoint him as our chief eunuch. I can assure you this. And then it will have him in here and we'll pay him this much. Also, I don't know why it has this in brackets. I guess at one point they must have decided that treasury was going to be different costs to gold. So they wanted to show you what the equivalent would be in gold if you were to spend gold on it. But right now it's the same, which is a little odd. Anyway, who is better as a eunuch? You or you? For us. I want you because I want you to be my spy master probably. So I'm going to go with Fei Yuanzhong. Let's go with him. Right. So he's appointed as our chief eunuch, right? That's what it says here. Let's go and have a look. Is he actually our chief eunuch? Doesn't look like our chief eunuch to me, because this is our chief eunuch position. I'm fairly certain. Even though it's called eunuch attendant. But, yeah. We do not fulfill the conditions, so we do not have one. Let me see if it still thinks that he has the role, though. Yeah, look at this. No, it doesn't say he has the role. If we have a look at somebody else, right? Like, you're my master physician. It says master physician right there. Go and have a look at this. Nothing. So he was not appointed my chief eunuch because he cannot be appointed my chief eunuch. It's just kind of weird. Also, interesting. So he has no rank here. How does he have no rank? Oh, because you need 100 merit to even get a rank. Oh, okay. Cool. Now, I was going to put him in as my spy master, but is there a better role for him? Because he's actually okay at multiple roles. Who's okay at being a spy master? So my chief secretary could be my spy master. Would then mean that we could put this guy in as our chief secretary and get an increase in our diplomacy guy as well. What about our army guy? Our army guy is actually okay at diplomacy. So you could be in charge of the army. Yeah, I think Faye is going to be in charge of the army. So what we're going to do is we're going to reassign you here, and then Faye can be in charge of the army. Wonderful. That seems good to me. And then what I'm going to do in here is we have huge negatives to our control, right? Like, control is just dropping like a stone. We're obviously not going to be able to fix it here, but we can put you in here to at least try, right? We can at least make it go down slower, which I think is beneficial to us, right? I think that having it go down like by let's 0.5 per month slower, I think that is pretty useful. Yeah. It has also been suggested that it's not actually illegal for us to just say, actually, this land is completely screwed, right? Like, this land is awful. I'm just going to leave, right? We could just quit. and then just move our estate back over here and wait for the next bit of land that isn't destroyed. But for now, I'm going to keep the land that's destroyed. We'll see how it goes. Your new realm priest endorses you. Okay. Sure. He's not new, but sure. Or maybe he is new. Maybe he got assigned after the previous one died. He just happened to already be in our court. Maybe. Anyway, that's fine. Right. I'm going to finish my studying, then we're going to remarry. I think that's my current plan. Okay. Destroyed by nature governance issue has appeared. Well, we'll have a look at that. Let's go have a look. In the aftermath of a recent disaster, the citizens of Fuliang are deluging my office with petitions and requests for assistance in rebuilding their homes. Alright, we'll travel there. We already have the best people who we can have on, so let's go. Right. Destroyed by nature. The wreckage strewn before my eyes is a testament to the severity of the disaster that has struck Fuliang. Deprived of their homes, the injured and desperate look to me to find them shelter, while the faint cries of the trapped call out from the ruins. And with storm clouds gathering on the horizon, their need is all the more pressing. So, we can shelter the survivors from the storm. So this is popular opinion but increases danger. Or our first priority must be to free those trapped beneath the rubble. If we do, we get out of the rubble, which is quite useful. The problem is, if we fail, we lose some, lose some influence. I think we'll go for this one. We'll go for sheltered from the storm. Yeah. Okay. Your scheme has been frozen because you're traveling. Fair enough, but I'm back again. I get my 11 Wanderer experience. For some reason, it's 11. I don't know why, but we get 11 every single time. You can make a request. Okay. You can ask your elder disciples or movement leader to fulfill a humble request. This is my movement leader. I'm assuming this must be movement leader, as I don't know if I've ever seen this man before in my life. Okay. So I can ask him for candidate score. Or for knight. Or for a courtier with Confucian education. That would give us this guy. Okay. Interesting. A knight would give us this guy. The knight might be better. He's got pretty good diplomacy. Let's grab a knight. Let's see how this goes. Also, I need to find a new elder. As our previous elder died. Fair enough. Okay. These are more local examinations we can join. But study meritorious work. We got the 22% chance. Wow. Okay. I've delved into the decade of Xiao Min, the implements of rights, and the annals of Duke Zhuan. My mind sharpened, my skills refined, and I feel ready to prove my merit. Perhaps I should assist the local magistrates in reviewing old cases, survey the state of local bridges, or draft a formal report for Governor Teng Gao, a renowned elder of high standing. If I serve Teng Gao well, word my merit will follow. Okay. Proper survey speaks louder than any boast, or I will assist the magistrates. So what do I get if I serve him well? If I serve him well, on a 78% chance, I get 78 merit. Alright, plus some opinion. I can get 58 without any roll, and I can get 64 without any roll. I'm going to take 64 without any roll. That seems so much better. Yeah. Cool. And are we still studying? We do appear to still be studying. The child was not meant to be. My concubine Shije assures me it is the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She is no longer pregnant. So does this just keep going round and round and round? Or does something stop our studying at some point? I'm kind of intrigued. We'll do one more cycle of study and then see. If we do one more cycle of study and we're still studying, we'll assume it just is going to just perpetually go round. We'll see. Tempting coffers. As the prefect of Raozhou and the bureaucratic apparatus of the prefecture is at my sole disposal, even the unassuming treasury in the heart of Poyang. Petty functionaries frequent the place at all hours, swapping imperial gold for receipts and carting it off to pay garrisons, repair buildings and feed the poor. Buddha knows what. As the prefect, my needs and the prefectures are really one and the same, aren't they? So I can do some extra requisitions and get some money potentially, but it will stress me out because I'm honest and diligent. I can alter some numbers and get stressed for the same reasons. I can say, and thus Rao Zhous are mine to share. That gives me the trait Governor, which means that we start gaining experience in the Governor trait, which I think is useful. And bolstered treasury for 10 years, which isn't that useful, because development growth means nothing to us right now. Influence means very little, and governor efficiency, I guess, is cool. It's 5% extra tax and levies. It does cost me 50 gold, which I don't have. Or the bureaucrats know what they're doing. Now, the main thing that governor would give us, so it would allow us to start getting points along this path towards some useful bonuses. So I'm going to take it. So I think it's worth the money, but yeah, we are now in debt, which is not ideal. Okay, carrying on. Our liege is just changing some positions around on the council. Not really that important. Okay, people are trying to improve the Great Wall. Is anybody contributing to like the recovery effort of this? No, because nobody has the money to contribute to the recovery effort of this, and nobody wants to. Fair enough. Scheme successful. The next time the capital examination is hosted, I will be prepared. Night falls as I place the annals of Duke Xuan before me, its pages lit by faint light. If I push through the night and commit the most vital pages or passages to memory, I'll surely gain an edge. But will I truly learn? Perhaps I should take time to actually understand them. Okay, I say I must pass the exam no matter the cost. Wisdom takes time. I'd rather go to bed. Yeah, let's say I'll pass the exam no matter what the cost. Hey, new learning lifestyle perk. Let's grab... I was going down here for learn on the job, right? Yeah, learn on the job, and down here to scholar and other such things. Let's grab open-minded. Different culture, opinion, and we can learn additional languages. I think that seems fine. Okay, cool. Now, knowing that this just spins round and round and round and round, one thing I want to just see is, what's my success? My success chance is 22%. Okay. And there's nothing we can really change that much to modify it. I think we need to find a new wife. I think that's what we need to do. Let's find a spouse. So, what are we looking for in a spouse? What's our age? We're 25. Let's say I want a spouse who's within 5 years of us. That means it's from 20 to 30. Seems reasonable. They're already going to be an adult. Want them to be healthy. We don't care about religion and culture too much. Let's see what else we want them to be. Not a ruler, I guess, is useful, but it doesn't take anyone out because no one can be. Let's say inheritable traits. 3. Alright. Well, that limits our options quite a lot. We could go with Xuan Jing here. The Wrong or Wei Di. I think I'm going to go with Xuan Jing here because she has the best stats, at least in those two, in martial and diplomacy. I would have loved somebody who was good at learning, but looking at this, I think that she's got the best stats overall, although I guess your stats are probably equivalent, if not better. But she also has intelligent, which is a much better trait. Yeah, I'm going to marry her. That's fine. Okay. Cool. Married and we went up 1%. Why did we go up 1%? Because her learning now adds to our learning in Assist Ruler. How much is he giving us? 33111. We could get, in theory, an extra point of learning, but yeah, not getting a lot out of that. Okay, that's fine. You can Assist Ruler still. Right. Cancel invitation. Greetings, my sensible vassal. You've been a loyal and devoted subject, and I wish to reward you for your service. In recognition of this, I'm hereby offering you the position of Fiscal Commissioner of Dingjiang. Sure. That's Steward, right? That's a good one to have. Gives us 1 tax per month, and gives us influence, and gives us domain taxes, and building construction costs, and a whole bunch of other nice stuff. Cool. Okay. Now, I also want to find an elder, in theory, for us as well. Let's go and find ourselves an elder. So, I want it to be somebody in my... Where are we? I want it to be somebody in our... We'll get there eventually. Political movement. Although maybe we could just check our liege and see if he's in our political movement. He's unaligned. How about our liege's liege? Our liege's liege is pro-song. Would you be my elder? Request mentorship from me. Uh-huh. So I could click this and this would then improve his merit. This happening. What does this do? So, oh no, I gain the trait forwarder and I gain merit, it says. And he gains merit either way. Do I want to gain the forwarder trait? Although this will start a mentorship scheme as well, which will then cancel our study scheme. Our study scheme's not that good currently, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure what's going on with the study and mentorship one. I guess you probably want to ideally get the thing that lets you have 2 personal schemes at once, at which point it makes a lot more sense. I will need the trait forwarder. Why don't I go for improved merit? Okay. And is that us saying, or is that us saying what we want the result of our scheme to be? The result of our scheme is that we'll gain merit. I could have it that the result of our scheme is that we'd gain the forwarder trait. That might be it, actually. That might be what this is saying. But we could have it with neither one ticked. That's what's confusing to me. So you could have it with neither ticked, which would imply that you then gain nothing if that's the case. Okay, I'm going to do this. Our thing is finished. Okay. Cool. So it got rid of our study scheme, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, continuing onwards. We're continuing to just let our treasury go up. There's not really a lot that we can do right now. We're kind of in a situation where we're just waiting for the natural disaster to be fixed at some point. What does this mean? Okay, so that says treasury. Is this treasury that can be invested into this? What does this treasury value mean? This is 0 out of 3, and it's got this. Or maybe that's how much it costs? Does that add up? That does add up. So that's probably how much it costs, right? Yeah. So that's how much it costs to fix everything. Is that going down constantly? Let's have a look. It does look like it's going down. So maybe it goes down over time to the point where it becomes doable. Okay. Fraud in broad daylight. Thing we can grab. Also, we can put a guardian in for our daughter. We don't have to, but we can. Now, currently, we have nobody as an educator. Interesting. You can go in as an educator. We're going to do that because it's good to have an educator anyway. Or a tutor. But I think my wife should probably be... Wait, that's the wrong one. Where are we? I'm looking for educate child. There we go. I think our wife should probably educate you. Because she has the intelligent trait, which is a positive to education. So let's go with that. Right, and we'll send that one through. Wonderful. Okay. I did see that we can request that somebody gets mentored. So could I request that my wife mentors my daughter? Uh-huh. I could. Yeah, but you can't ask to study battle tactics. Because my daughter doesn't have any... No, that would make her the mentee. Wait a second. So my wife would agree to be educated by my 6-year-old? Wait a second, I did this the wrong way around, but that's weird that she would accept. No, I was going to suggest that my 6-year-old is educated by my wife, personally. The hand culture does not allow women to be combatants, so you can't study jungle tactics. Oh, interesting. Well, and they can't improve merit because the merit rank is not inferior. Okay, so I don't know what this mentorship scheme gives. Because our mentorship scheme... So this is choosing what you want. So our mentorship scheme gives merit. But this mentorship scheme doesn't do anything. I guess we could mentor my daughter, right? So we could start request mentee, our daughter, although I'd much prefer my son, I guess, but let's say my daughter to improve merit or study Confucianism. Yeah, so I would want to do this, and she would start a mentorship scheme against me. Yes, okay, and I could also do this with my son. So should I have been doing this the whole time? Should my son have been starting a mentorship scheme against me from the start? My god, I did it the wrong way around again. So no, I need to do right-click on me, go to this. This does not seem like the best interface for this. And if it's working the way I think it's working, it is quite clunky. Let's say I want my son to start studying Confucianism as well. Right. Let's see how this works. So neither of them have the trait right now. By the way, neither of them have the trait. So we'll see how that plays out in the long term. You can ask your elder disciples and movement leader to fulfill a humble request. I can ask my elder for some money. Yeah, okay. I do need it, so we'll do that. And fraud in broad daylight. Market here is rife with counterfeit goods and defrauded buyers are outraged. The thump of a crate being unceremoniously deposited on my floor breaks my concentration and rouses me from my work. Shen Wei stands next to it. More evidence has arrived, my lord. It's perfume bottles this time, packed with soil. The markets in Fuliang have been plagued with counterfeit goods as of late. Alright, let's go. Alright, we're going to pay the money to travel. We'll get it back in a second. We're now off traveling. I've arrived back in here, I guess, apparently. I get Wanderer experience, another 11. Invested 31 gold and I got it. And the event just disappeared out of existence. Wait, now I just have a contract that's just sitting here. Okay, I think I broke the contract. Yeah, because we went there and then we came back. Well, I don't know if we even went there. But now we just have a contract sitting here. Guess I will abandon it because we can't do it because we're not there. Alright. Weirdness abound. Do I want to do an examination? Probably not right now. Okay. Failed to make progress in my studies. Fair enough. I'm still trying to save money, I guess, in theory. Could meditate in seclusion again. Let's go meditate again. I'm gonna go to the rolling hills again, which is not a safe place to be, but we'll go there anyway. Right, I'm off. Right, now we're here and we're meditating. Wonderful. War declared on our liege. So the hegemony liege, Jiao Shu, is being attacked by a peasants' revolt. With 12,900 men. It's quite a lot of men, really. Lost in thought. My son and heir, Yu Yanxi, is an unusually calm child. When the others play their wild games, Yu Yanxi often withdraws to some silent corner. He does not speak a lot, but I can tell he's always thinking about something. He's pensive. Okay, so that's going to make learning educations better, I think. The Reapers of Ruin governance issue has appeared. Alright, can I do that here? Because I don't have to travel because I'm already in the location? No. No. Nope, that does not apply, apparently. Okay. Well, at some point we'll come back from our meditating. I'm sure. We have arrived back. I got another 11 experience. Cool. And we have finished meditating. Isolated away from the wilderness, I found that the troubles of which burdened me at court no longer had any weight to them. For the first time in a long time, or the first time in far too long, I was at peace. I improved my skill in meditation, apparently. I'm assuming I can't do these because I'm meditating. Yes. Need to wait till that goes away. There we go. I've concluded my meditation. Let's go to Fuliang first. or to this one in Fuliang first. The worst of the recent disaster in Fuliang may have passed, but those with avarice in their hearts have taken this opportunity to enrich themselves at the expense of those who have been displaced. Alright, let's go. The baseness of human nature is on full display in Fuliang. The people here seemingly more interested in relieving their neighbours of their valuables than they are in offering them a helping hand. Some measure of order must be restored here before any attempt at reconstruction can be made. So put some of the looters to the sword, that will set an example for the rest. That gets order at sword point. Or confiscate what's been salvaged for my personal inspection. I'll put the looters to the sword. And now we have arrived back, and I am now at Max Wanderer, which gets us diplomacy, learning, health boost, travel speed, and monthly wandering lifestyle experience. That's cool. Right. Okay, so we just had the mentorship event trigger. Does that mean that you've had your mentorship things trigger? Maybe. I don't know how their schemes against me are going. Can I see that anywhere? No. Okay. I'm assuming it's happening. Let's do burdensome taxes. After a long and tiring day of hearing pleas and grievances, often enough both from the same tongue, the last petitioner steps forward, an elderly man dressed in a simple and sober fashion, his bearing humble but not servile. A clerk passes me a note indicating this man is the headman of his village. Your Excellency, our village is humble and we know little of wealth and prosperity. The harvests have been poor, the taxes we're asked to pay are beyond our meagre means. I beg of you, must reduce our burden or else we may starve. So I can reassess them at reduced rate. I'll take full responsibility. So I gain a ton of merit and get control in Raozhou. And this gets reduced tax burden for 10 years. Now that might not be that bad because I think you're currently making almost no tax. You're not making that. It's not that bad. Although an extra 5 control here would actually make us quite a bit of tax anyway. Back. Okay. Or you needn't pay, but the dues will remain owing until you can fulfill them. Let's do this. Let's reassess them at a reduced rate, and I'll take full responsibility. So we got increased control in Poyang here. Cool. Okay, so now we've done that a little bit. I want to have a look at this. So has this actually gone down? I think it's gone down a little bit more, hasn't it? It's not. If it is going down, it's not going down very quickly. Yeah. And nobody has the treasury to pay for it, I guess. It's not ideal. It's a new pox that's spreading up here. Oh, okay. Hopefully it doesn't make its way down this way. Although, wait a second, that is definitely spreading quite quickly. It's smallpox. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's maybe see where this examination is. Though traveling is dangerous, that's the thing, because it's through the most dangerous territory. Like, usually going to the plague lands would be the most dangerous part, but actually trying to leave it where we are right now is incredibly dangerous. Yeah, we're kind of stuck where we are. I guess I could host a debate or something. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little stuck until... Yeah, until this natural disaster is gone. Oh, Liu, cordial house relation improved. We become friends with you. Oh, interesting. So my grandson has become friend. No, this grandson, Li Juangui, has become friends with Yu Qingqian. So that must have happened at a Meet Peers event, I assume. Okay, but this is a new mechanic, and this one I am kind of interested in, which is house relations. So this is the idea that your houses can become more linked, as in with other houses. And I think this applies to places outside of here. So if I go Holy Roman Empire and have a look at them, you can see that they have house relations with other houses. And then these give you longer term buffs. And I really like this idea, because this is something that I tried to do in our previous playthrough, but it always felt a little weird because it was us working for things, but it not really being recognized by the game because there was no mechanic for it. Now, there is a mechanic for it, and it gives you different bonuses. So, here, because we're slight friends, there is marriage acceptance between any members of each house, and increased acceptance of activity invitations from any member of each house. If we keep going up here, less chance to declare wars, more chance of marriage, more chance of personal schemes, and at the top level you can just get alliances right away, which is incredible. Obviously, on the other side, you get the negative versions of this, which are very, very negative, and then allowing hostile schemes to be more common. And then you get casus belli to eradicate rival houses. That I think is kind of cool. I wonder whether the house feud system is rolled into this now. Yeah, because there's a separate house feud system. I'm imagining that currently house feuds are still sitting on top of everything as they always have done, but it would kind of make sense for them to be listed in here as well. Anyway, cool. That looks like my new elder is now ill again. So another elder falling ill. Food shortage. Well, let's go see what we can do. Food has become scarce in Fu Liang, leaving the citizens no choice but to desperately seek out alternative and sometimes unorthodox sources of sustenance. Those with the means are doing what they can to render aid, but our intervention has been requested. Okay, let's go and help in whatever way we can. The pitiful cries of the hungry echo throughout the street as my entourage is beset by haggard starvelings the moment we arrive. The hollow eyes of these beggars are devoid of hope as their stomachs are of sustenance. The grain we brought with us is enough to feed some, but not all, and the deprivation quickly turns to dangerous desperation. So I can try and persuade merchants to open their storehouses. Okay, so get increased supply limit and popular opinion here. We lose money for it. And, well, that's interesting. So, oh, that's just saying that's what success is. Yeah, so that's the same thing repeated. Or I can compel the privileged to contribute to the relief. Now the problem is that this lowers control growth even more. And, yeah, development is going to be almost zero anyway. So I guess I'll take this, and the negative isn't even that bad. Merchant agreed. Fantastic. Okay, we've arrived back. And we get more trait experience, so it doesn't matter now because we've maxed out that trait. Cool. What's this? Perform ritual sacrifice? No. Join an examination? I would have to have money to do that, unfortunately. Yeah. We're kind of in a weird spot. It may be best for us to just quit, but I feel like I don't want to do that until we might quit when we hit 6th rank, right? Because at that point, we're more likely to get a duchy title, which I think would, yeah, I think that would be good. So, if we were to quit at that point, we could maybe persuade our liege to give us a better title at some point. Also, our daughter has smallpox. How did you get that? Oh, because, it's yet another problem with characters being in the wrong location. Because our daughter is still where our old estate used to be, our daughter is in this plague region, which caused her to get smallpox because she's in the wrong court. It's the same issue. Yeah, luckily our son is in the right court here, but yeah, that's annoying. Outliving a child. Sickness and pestilence continues its harrowing march through Raozhou. It's not in Raozhou. Sorry, I'm afraid to tell you that it's over here in the capital. Felling the great and lowly alike. That brutal, indiscriminate truth rarely lays itself bare until moments like these. My stomach twists and writhes in silent agony as the body of my daughter, Yu Qingshan, is borne past me. Physicians and healers worked from dawn till dusk to save her, but their grim faces told everyone more than they would say. So young, so full of promise, so many more left to die like this. Buddha, deliver us. So her daughter has died of smallpox, which is very unfortunate. I just want to see something about our son here. Now, he still hasn't actually gained any experience, but he is, I'm assuming, trying to be mentored by us? How do I see mentor relationships? I know you see guardian, but like we have an elder, right? So that's our elder in here. So, can I see my son's elder if he has an elder? No, he doesn't have an elder here. Do you have to be an adult to have an elder? Yeah, yours doesn't show here either. Maybe you have to be an adult male to see an elder? Let's have a look at our friend. No, so that doesn't show it either. So I need to find somebody who has a disciple and then work our way backwards, I think, from here. So do you have let's have a look at my leash here. So yeah, this shows elder and disciples. So yes, our leash has an elder of his own, and it shows up. Interesting. So I guess that means that our son didn't start a mentorship scheme against us, or he decided to stop it for some reason? Interesting. Yeah, I'm wondering why that's not there. Anyway, that's fine. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.